Hi, today I'm going to show you how to cut your bangs. We're going to need a few items: a comb, a pair of scissors, a razor if you have one, a couple clips, and I like to have a chopstick. I got these great metal ones. Um, they're nice for parting the hair. So we're going to talk about a couple areas in the hair. I've already quick dried my hair, blowing it forward from one side and then across the other side, and then kind of rumpling it and pulling it forward that way. So the hair is pretty much straightened out, smoothed out. We want to remove any kind of kinks and different things in the hair, and so we have a little bit better reliability on the fact that it's straight. If you got a lot of curls and stuff going on, chances are when you cut your hair, it's not going to be straight the next time. So anyway, well, I'm going to talk about a couple different areas in the hair. As you go along the hairline, there's an area right in here which kind of dips in. For some people it dips in a lot, for other people not so much. But this area is called the recess, and so this is one of our target areas here, the recess. We have it on both sides, recess. And then our next target area is going to be what we call the apex. That's when the comb sort of changes direction from going up to going down, right in here. And then you're going to kind of mark that spot here with your finger. So that's kind of where we're going to want to get to. And we're going to take our comb and we're going to make a part from the recess area to the apex. And we're going to split this off. Okay. And we're going to take one of our clips and we're going to clip it up. Don't worry if it's not perfect the first time. We've got to just get it started. Okay. Now we're going to take on the other side here. This is where our part stops, and the recess there. And take that piece there. And we're going to clip this off too. Okay, so we have this area here. It's not so straight, so this is where I'm going to take my chopstick and kind of redefine it. I have super straight, super fine hair, and parting it is almost impossible. All right, we got a little bit better here. There we go. There we go. So there's our kind of triangle shape there. Gonna make this one more. Turn that around the proper way. Okay. So we're dealing with this portion of the hair here as the bangs. So if I'm starting the bangs for the first time, I'm going to take and go to the sort of the ball of the nose. That's where I'm going to go with my first cut. I'm going to leave my hair long, so I'm just going to simulate this. So if we want it to kind of curve out and around, a little bit of framing with our bangs, we're going to take and we're going to pull this stuff into the center here and make our first clip here. This hair is coming in here, this hair is going straight, this hair is also coming in here, and so it's just a little bit longer on the edges. So we're going to take and we're going to cut that at the nose, right there. And it should give us a little bit of a curved shape. We're going to go ahead and kind of redefine that a little bit. Let me open up here so I can see. We're going to drop our scissors in up high on the forehead, and we're going to drop it down to where that cut kind of starts, and then we're going to arc it out that way. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to open our scissors, let it fall, and arc it out that way. Okay? So it's two different sort of hand positions here when you're arcing it out from one side to the other. And this is very important because what we want to do is create the same angle. So if we're going this way, our scissors are going down. We're going this way, our scissors are going down. Okay, so we got to move our arms around. You'll find if you're using bargain scissors or you're using your sewing scissors and different things like that, you'll find that on one direction you're holding it one way, it cuts. If you hold it the other way, it doesn't cut. So you also have to keep that into consideration when you're making your cuts. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is taking them a little bit shorter. Let me reclip my hair here. Okay, so that's more of just a face framing long sort of bang. That would be, sort of somewhere in the cheek area. The hair lifts up when it's dried, and so it's best to cut it for the bangs when it's dry, because you're going to get a false read on wet hair. Also, you're going to cut one place and then you're going to let it go and it's going to shrink up. So keep that in mind. It's better to do a couple different cuts than make it too short or make the angle wrong the first time. So keep that in mind. So our next kind of area we're going to go to is sort of like just right about here, the bridge of the nose. And you can take and cut. So what I'm going to say for this, if you're not going to cut for framing by pulling it into the center and holding it while you cut it, if you were going to cut for a straight line, a Betty Page line, or a little bit of an angled out line where it's primarily going to be more straight in the middle, what I would do is cut from one side to the other. So figure out where you want your hair to end, drop it in, bring it down. So I'm going to go here. Let me see if I got my scissors straight there. Check your elevation, make sure you're straight here. And then cut. Cut to the middle. Turn around. Go the same way from the other side and cut to that point. Okay? And so that way you're kind of making both sides come into the middle. What happens is if we're cutting, even with the sharpest, best scissors, if we're cutting from one side to the other, what happens is the hair pushes out and you'll see short, longer, longer, which is fine if you're going to do an angled bang. That's a great way to do it. That would be great. But if you want more of a straight bang, you're not going to get that by cutting one way to the other. So you go one half and then the other half. Okay, and so keep that in mind when you're cutting your bang shorter. You want to get to the eyebrow area. You figure out where your line is on the eyebrow. Drop the hair in. And we're going to figure out where we want it to go, and we're going to snip into the middle. Go to the other side, find your eyebrow, snip into the middle. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to re-dry the hair, frumple it up, dry it, straighten it out. You might give a little bit of a round brush to it. If you are, just tag it in there and give it a little roll to the bottom. Don't lift too much. If you're lifting too much, you're going to end up with what I call Hairspray the Musical, where you get a big arced high bang, which may be popular someday, but it isn't right now. So roll it. Hold at the end to get those tips straight and flat, and then drop it out. Okay. So now if we want to do something a little more like a Betty Page bang or something like that, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this side up, and we're going to cut a little bit and also towards the middle. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of arcing round that way. This side we're going to drop it in. Try to get the same, start at the same place and try to have the same sort of angle and cut it into the middle. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to go around and kind of chip the little pieces in with the tip of your scissors. And if you're doing the Betty Page bang, you're going to chip this front in, and you might give it a little bit of a light snip across the front. You have to watch when you're snipping straight across because that's going to leave a heavy line. If you can go through and finish with a little bit of tippy point cut, that's going to make your bangs look much more professional. Another thing that I'll talk to you a little bit about is layering the bangs. There's a couple different ways to layer the bangs. We can use a razor and just kind of like take little pieces. We can go little like kind of pencil lines. That helps. Go slowly with that if you do. You can also do that with the scissors. There's a couple different ways. We can cut up into the bangs once they're straightened out. And that would be more point cutting. You can go a little higher with that, but be careful not to go too high. Once you get past the kind of like midpoint in the forehead, you're going to start sending hairs up, especially if your hair is thick and coarse. So you're going to want to do some thinning and some texturizing to your bangs if they are thick, but be careful that you don't go too deep into them and end up with sprays coming up, which you don't want. All right, so another way to get some layering on your bangs is to lift them and cut. Okay, so the idea of this is you're going to take and lift your bangs up until the front pieces sort of fall out. Once they do, then you know that your line, you're ready to cut that part. If they don't fall out, you're adding to your bottom line. So make sure that you drop a little bit, or you see where that is on the top of your scissors and cut it to there. The top of your fingers, sorry about that. So keep that in mind. You don't want to go too short again. So in this, it's better to do it twice and don't do enough the first time than do too much and create too much layering in your bangs. So those are the two kind of ways that you can layer it. You can also do that with the razor too. Just kind of like give it a little bit as it falls. Hold it up, give it as it falls. You can kind of do almost a back combing kind of thing with the razor. You can use a men's shaving razor to do that too. You can lightly do that. I've done a whole haircut with just a shaving razor. It works. You just have to watch out because what happens is that the razor gets filled with hair, and so you've got to wipe the hair out so the blade works again. And a lot of times people don't have a cutting razor at home, but they do have men's shaving razors, women's shaving razors. So you can do it with that too. All right, so that's my bang tutorial. Thank you.